Hello, everyone. My name is Katarina Hanssens Carlsson. I'm the founder of Global Leadership Schools. And with me today, I have Benedictor Mako. And he is a leader. We are both leaders, movers, and trailblazers in the world of education. So, I'm the founder of Global Leadership Schools. And Benedictor, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello everyone. I am Benedictor Mako, as you have heard. I am the Assistant Director of Trueness Project, a non-profit serving humanity through humanitarian work. And I am also the founder and CEO of Benmark Virtual Assistant, a company serving professionals and their organizations through VA services. And I'm happy to be here today.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you are. So, we are all about transforming education. Dr. George Land, in his NASA experiments, found that we were actually dumbing children in schools in the United States. And I think it's happening all over the world. He found that children up to the age of 6 were operating from 98% creative genius. And I'm sure all the children and parents will agree with me. That's what he found. By the time these same children were teenagers, it was down to 12%. From 98% creative genius to 12%. By the time these same children became adults, it was down to 2%. So we have a problem, and we've had this problem for over 60 years, and not much has been done about it. So Global Leadership Schools is about creating the most dynamic, innovative schools in the world and finding the creative genius before the age of 6 and continuing. Okay, so Benedictor and I have both been to school, obviously, and had different experiences. So Benedictor, would you like to share your school experience?
Yeah, I would love to share my school experience because I believe that when people hear about what others have gone through, they get insights of what they have also gone through and how we can both join hands and make the world a better place. So for me, I was born in Kenya, and I joined a school in the village in Kenya. And I was doing well in school, that is academically and otherwise. And so at some point in school, the teachers, I believe, saw the potential in me. So they believed in what I could do, and they came to me and they told me, Benedictor, we want to make you a class prefect. And so from that point, they gave me the opportunity to lead the students in that class. And even as we were continuing with our education, I was in grade 5 at that time. And so even continuing with my studies, I continued being the prefect of that class. That means in grade 6 and also in grade 7 and 8. And that was an opportunity for me to learn how to lead young people. You could imagine I was still very young, just like my classmates, but I had the opportunity to be there for them, to show them the way, to guide them through the processes of being in class and going through the education system. And so that was for me an opportunity to learn the dynamics of leadership. And I looked up to my teachers because they are the ones who had selected me to lead the students. And they were my role models, and every time I could face a hard time, I could go back to them and tell them this and this what I am facing, and I would like you to assist me. And the good thing is that they always showed up for me. So they supported me, they encouraged me, they cheered me up, and they allowed me to feel that I was worthy of being in that leadership position. And the amazing thing is it never stopped there. I would say that was just the start of it. Because again, in high school, I went to high school in the city, and we had students from all over the country. And again there, while in Form 2, they gave me an opportunity to lead again. And at that time, I was of age, and so I could learn more things than I was doing in primary school. So it was a better opportunity for me to shape my leadership skills and for me to show the others the pathways I believed could work for them. And even in high school, because in leadership, there are so many challenges that we face. So even in high school, I again looked up to my teachers, because in a school setting, the teachers are the first role models. They are the ones who will always be there for you and will always be guiding you through the process. And so I made them my friends, and I could share so many things with them. I could go to them and ask them, I would like us and the students to do this and this. What do you think? And also they would come to me and they tell me, this is what should be done, this is what should be done. And so they guided me through the process. I was never alone. And at no point could I say that I felt like it was not worth it to be a leader. And so, again, it never stopped there. In high school, I was the leader of the chairperson of the French club, where all French students could meet and we share, we create stories, we compose poems and songs and share them with the school. And so that was an opportunity again for me to hone my leadership skills, because I knew that after high school, I'm going to university. And truly, I did that. I excelled in high school and I managed to go to university, where again, in second year, I think I've been favored so much, because all throughout my education, it's like I've been a leader. So again, in second year, I was the representative of a section of the second years. And again, when we went to third year and fourth year, I was still their representative. And so because at that point, I had already started figuring out what I want in life. That was my opportunity now to align myself with what I wanted to do in life. It was an opportunity for me to envision myself as a leader in a company somewhere, to envision myself as a team leader in an organization somewhere after the university education. And so I used the opportunity to shape those around me and also to shape myself. And I was every time striving to support the other students, to support my peers, to be there for them, to cheer them up, to encourage them even during their hardest of times. And so I believe those are the moments which shaped me to become who I am today. And at that point, I had a mentor who I would always reach out to, because mostly in the university, it's not so easy to be in touch every time with the lecturers. But I had someone at least I would look up to. And at the same time, I was also consulting those who had been leaders ahead of me and asking them, when you faced this situation, what did you do? I am facing this, what do you think I should do? And so I can say that I sat under the feet of those who had gone ahead of me. And I allowed them to shape me and to lead me so that I can lead those around me as well. And again, it never stopped there. It never stopped there, because while still in third year and fourth year, I started writing for a certain media company. I was doing journalism, linguistics, media, and communication with a major in journalism. And so it was, again, my time to see what is happening out there in the media industry. And so I reached out to one of the organizations and I started writing for them as a contributor, as a columnist. And after some time, I became part of the copy editing team and I could copy edit their articles. And then later, from immediately after school, after university, I was privileged to become an editor in that same organization. So you see, I just transitioned from school leadership to organizational leadership.
Yeah.
And so I, being an editor, I had over 25 correspondents behind me who were looking at me now for leadership. They were looking at me for guidance. They were relying on me and to my skills for decision making, and to shape them and to help them to go up the ladder of their careers. And so this was a critical moment for me because I had lives to shape, I had careers to nurture, and I had people looking at me to support them to achieve their goals in their lives. And so thanks to the many lessons I learned through the process of being a leader from primary school through secondary school through the university, because I believe that were it not for that shaping, that continuous shaping of my life and my leadership skills, I believe I would have maybe misled them or got overwhelmed along the way. But I am grateful that I was, according to them as my testimonials, I was of help to their lives. And so after some time, I exited the organization, and then I joined Tuna's project, which is the current organization I am serving humanity with. Thanks to the skills I gained, because when I go back to them, and the skills I am gaining as of now, because when I go back to them, I have something to share with them.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. Excellent. So I mean, leadership requires responsibility, doesn't it? So what motivated you in the first place? Was it your teachers or your parents, or something must have motivated you in the first place to accept leadership? Just a short answer.
What motivated me to be a leader is the fact that if someone does not show up to lead others, you are all prone to being misled. And so there was that inner voice in me that I can do it. And so I took it up and I prayed that all will go well. But I had the motivation of my teachers and of my parents.
And your parents as well, and an inner voice. Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to ask myself the same question. How was my school experience? Well, I did very well in sports. I won 3 cups 3 years running. I was also a prefect. But I didn't understand leadership, and I didn't understand the importance of academics. I didn't understand that if you didn't pass the 11 plus, that maybe you would go to a school that was like not so advantageous. So it was only when I took the 13 plus that I went to a really good school, and then to Perth School of Girls, Cambridge. But throughout school, I have to say, I was lost. If somebody had come to me and said, well, Katarina, I think you could be a leader, or you could be a global entrepreneurial consultant and trainer. Well, first of all, they didn't have the knowledge to say that. But if they had, I wouldn't have known what they were talking about. But that is my role today. So I have a very different role from you, Benedicta. It took me 20 years after school to find out who is Katarina, what is her driving purpose, what is my vision. And when I found my 3 core values, which are truth, greatness, and vision, and when I say greatness, I say it in the most humble way, because everyone is great. And everybody needs to find their greatness, their brilliance in school. Otherwise, it's really tough to find your brilliance afterwards. That's what I do with people in a one-day consultation today. I find their brilliance, I find their greatness, their driving purpose, their entrepreneurial identity. But it took me 20 years. And I just didn't give up until I was really fulfilled. I was a teacher and then a very successful psychotherapist, but I was not fulfilled. And today I'm fulfilled. What were the challenges you found as a leader? Just a short answer, and the solutions that you found.
One of the challenges I faced in leadership in school was balancing leadership and education, because you realize that the time is limited. You have people to lead and you have education to undertake. And so one of the approaches to that was I tried to allocate time to each of the two aspects. When I'm supposed to be a leader, I know being a leader is all through, but again, there are times when you have to take duty. And so I could allocate time for that, and I also allocated time for my education, especially allocating extra time for my studies. And another thing was the aspect of managing peer dynamics. That is resistance from your peers. They think you are not capable of leading them. And those are times I sought help. I asked around what I should do and the approaches I can use to handle the different situations the students were facing, so that I can be of help to them. And the other thing was inadequate training, because in primary school and also in secondary school, the training is not regular. And so again, at those points, I sought more help from my teachers and from everyone I get some help from. And the other one was imposter syndrome. They wonder if you are the one leading. And in such times, I found my strength in self-belief that I can do this, and this is my opportunity to learn and to grow others.
Did your students resist your leadership, or were they happy to have you as a leader?
Most were happy to have me as a leader, but there are those who will always feel like he's not the one supposed to lead us. Someone can do it better. I am better than him. And so, I would say that was the kind of resistance I received.
Okay, fantastic. So how are you're working with a global team today.
Yeah.
How are you impacting global education today, Benedicta?
Being the assistant director of Truna's project, we visit schools and also young people in the community. Schools, they are both primary schools, high schools, and universities. And we go there to impact them through leadership empowerment. And so the better part of my input has been through mentorship.
Okay, so how important is self-leadership? I just want to answer this question myself first. For me, in school, number one, you have to know yourself. Know who you are. I had no clue who I was. I knew who people wanted me to be, but I didn't necessarily want to do that. But I was fairly obedient, I was compliant, but compliancy is not, for me, compliancy is not the objective of schools. It may be for many, many people. We need people who are intuitive, imaginative, creative, because we have AI, we have technology, but we need people who are leaders, who are self-leaders, and people who are highly imaginative. So for me, self-leadership is extremely important from a very, very young age. And linguistics are very important because children up to the age of 6 or 7 are linguistic geniuses. They can learn 3 languages. So, I mean, here in Scandinavia, we go to preschool and play school for almost 7 years, the first 7 years of our lives. Children can be learning 3 languages in 7 years, easily. with games, with YouTube. There's so many facilities available to learn languages, and children can learn languages before they can read and write, because they hear language, they hear the words, they hear the grammar, they don't know its grammar, and they speak correctly. Right. So by the time children are 7, they need to start their entrepreneurial journey. Why? Because we need to end world poverty, and we can do it through young entrepreneurship. And I'm not saying that children should earn money in school, but they can earn points. But if they start their journey at 7, and we find their brilliance, their driving purpose, their entrepreneurial vision, their entrepreneurial identity, which is very easy to do with the entrepreneurial blueprint training. And children love to learn that. We've started in Sweden already. So they have, from a very early age to the time they leave school at 16, 17, 18, to learn their mistakes, to learn how to serve others with a service or a product, and also how to sell, how to market. But they can just get points for that. But by the time they leave school, they have a business that will create income for them and maybe their whole village for the rest of their lives. So that's how Global Leadership Schools is impacting schools worldwide. We've started in Sweden. We are impacting certain schools in Kenya. We're just beginning there. South America, the United States, and Scandinavia. So, Benedicta, how are you and your team impacting schools globally?
We donate products like sanitary pads and leadership books. So before we make the donation, we talk to the children. That is, we mentor them and we give them insights about career choices, about education, about opportunities abroad, and about discipline, and also mental health. And so we believe that through such mentorship interactions, we are helping them to realize who they are and to work hard towards achieving their goals from a point of knowledge. And the other aspect through which we are impacting schools is through being their role models. The young people are always looking up to those who have gone ahead of them. And so when we visit such schools, we tell our stories. We tell the experiences we have been through. We tell them who we are. And so through that, we are empowering them to believe that they can do it themselves. For example, if we visit a school and we had incorporated, let's say, a doctor, because most of the times it's not just us who go, but at times we have visitors. We have guests with whom we go. And so if we go with a doctor or a lawyer and they share their story, we are helping those children to understand that if this is a lawyer and this is their story, I can also become a lawyer. If this is a doctor and this is what they've gone through, I have the potential to become a doctor. So that is through being their role models, being there to be seen and to be heard.
Wonderful, wonderful. So the focus is more on careers and leadership rather than entrepreneurship and leadership, which is great. Fantastic, fantastic. So, Benedicta, how do people contact you?
People can always reach out to me on LinkedIn and on Facebook as Benedicta Macau, and my email is benedictaisaac@gmail.com.
Wonderful, thank you. So for me, it's LinkedIn as well. Katarina Hanssens Carlsson. My official name is Catherine Carlsson on LinkedIn. And Global Leadership Schools, gl-schools.org, but it's on LinkedIn. So contact me if you want to introduce entrepreneurship into your schools, We have trainings for teachers, we have trainings for young people, and it's becoming more and more popular and more relevant in schools globally to learn entrepreneurship, especially Scandinavia. So thank you so much, Benedicta Macau, today, and everybody who's watching. The role of schools today, for me, is more important than it's ever been. Why? Because we are moving into an age of technology, an age of robots, and we don't need more robots. We need people who are innovative, who are leaders, and who are entrepreneurs. So, Benedicta, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, it's upon us who have the advantage of having been in leadership to shape those who are behind us. And so I challenge everyone who is a leader to put it upon themselves, to have it upon their shoulders, to support those who are behind them, and to shape them to become the great leaders who we all desire to see in this world. And you can always reach out to us at Trueness Project via our website, that is truenessproject.org, and you will learn more about what we do, who we serve, and how you can join hands with us for a better world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Benedicta. I just want to say one last thing. I honor the humility you had as a young person to ask questions, to face challenges and ask for help. And I think that's a great quality in a leader. So thank you so much today, and contact us.